tend the garden with me.
Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back. Oh, man, it's been... I told you not to leave me alone, guys. Anyways, come on over here. Let's get this this beautiful new combo we've got here washed up, and then I'll show you what kind of madness I got into while you guys were out gallivanting and doing whatever it is you do when we're not together here. You can say hello to our new Red Rock trailer. This thing came up for 10 grand in the used sale, so it's kind of hard to pass it up. I think it's got a 22 or 26,000 liter capacity. We will sell off probably one of our, if you remember, we'll probably sell off this trailer, which will be worth nothing. Maybe we'll keep it, who knows, probably worth at nothing. This is our auger trailer, so we'll keep that until we decide we don't want it anymore. We have our large trailer here, and then we have another trailer on the wall over there. We're well covered for trailers. I guess I could keep all the trailers right now, but perhaps we'll sell something anyways. That's not the focus of today's episode. Today's episode, I've got to show you first what kind of mess I've created. I think I'll partially blame you guys for encouraging me. And I think somebody said, keep borrowing. Let's see how far down you can take it. Somebody else was encouraging me to continue purchasing land. Anyway, so I started working through a ton of different scenarios. I spent a lot of time on the phone with Walter, who was more than willing to help me out should it make sense. Here, let's just see if we can jam. I don't think this will fit in there, will it? You know what? No, we're going to need some stuff out of there. I'll show you in a minute why that is, but let's just park this against the wall over here, and then we'll go for a quick drive. I struck a deal with Walter, and we're on the hook for some more dough here, but I'm going to show you what it means. Now don't worry, because I think I will have him paid off quickly, but I'll show you what I did. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, let's go for a drive. So it's almost the end of the day here, the first day of September. We're going to we'll go quickly for a drive here. I'll show you what I've been up to all for the first day here in September, and then we'll probably throw a couple bales into the cow enclosure, and then we'll go to sleep. And we got a big day ahead of us on the second day of September. So I'll show you what I mean here in 2 seconds. You can almost kind of see what's going on now if you look really closely. Yeah, is it starting to make sense? You noticing anything different over here? How about now? Is that better? Yeah. That's right. So old Walter there bankrolled us on a bit of an expansion. So, holy crap. I borrowed, I think, $600,000 from Walter. He set me up on a 15-year term. Now, it's at 8%, the same as our previous loan. It results in about $4,000 or $5,000 a month payments. We tried to keep the monthly output low, so that way if I do, we're gonna go a couple months here before we start selling things off, so we wanted to kind of keep that output low. But the deal is that once I sell all of the wood chips that we have stockpiled there, that Walter is the first person I pay off. So the $600,000 loan that we see right here, $5,000 a month. Yeah, like I said, it's 15 years, but we're not going to have that. We'll have made a couple payments. It'll probably result in almost the same total amount owing by the end. But when we sell the wood chips that we now have stockpiled, right, we're looking at a payout of more than $697,000 when we sell the 1.29 million liters of wood chips we now have stored. We'll be paying Walter off immediately. Keep him happy. Keep him on our side. And then we'll take the balance of the money and start to figure out what we're going to do with that. We should also have some grass available by then, or some silage, because we're going to mow all this. So anyway, so here, this is what it looks like now. So this was our field already, right? We had this what was affectionately dubbed the long field, which I don't even think we really got a chance to kind of appreciate the creativity in the name Long Field. Well, that name has since been changed to New Field. So if you look right here, you can see where there was a fence. So the fence is gone. Every rock, every tree, every shrub, everything that could be chipped up was chipped up and put into storage. Absolute backbreaker. Oh my God, it was so tedious. In real life, I basically just I had playing, one Theo Vaughn podcast after another as I worked my way through, and anyways, learned all kinds of weird stuff about the world, and off we went. So if you remember, there's the bridge that we had put in with the telephone poles, so we could access the fields over here. This is now our land. It's an absolute massive undertaking. This this is crazy. There you go. We got access over there. So all of this is ours. Well, anyways, I don't have to keep saying that. I mean, it's pretty obvious. I've taken all these fences out, and this is going to become one massive field for which we may do our bidding. I think we're still gonna run down that same sort of strategy. We're going to mow all this and then let it grow throughout the winter. And when we roll into the spring, we'll get one more cutoff, and then we'll likely be planting. I think I said soybeans in the old wheat fields. Maybe this is soybeans. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We got some time anyways to figure it out. But absolute madness. When we started to cut down all the shrubs and the trees from over here, we discovered this ancient stone wall. So we kept that in. So we're going to be basically working our way around that. There was also some stone down there, and we left some bushes and whatever. Did discover also, when we cut everything away, an outhouse and some garbage. So at some point here, the outhouse will probably come out, unless maybe it comes in handy, like if I need a break in the middle of work or whatever. Let's keep that closed to keep the raccoons out of it. But anyways, yeah. So now really why I did this was because there's some stuff in there. You can almost see it right there. It's there. The farms in Briscoe used, it's almost like shrubs as fences, and for some reason when I tried to delete this one piece in here through Giants Editor, I couldn't load the game after. It was like creating tons of errors, so I ended up keeping just that one piece there. We stashed it in there and then created this old wall here that we'll have to work around. So basically what we did is we purchased 3 fields. So we had 20, 24, and 28, of which was going to become Longfield. But now we've gone and added 23, 25, and 29. I have a custom field basically outlined, and I think it's like 38, almost 40 acres. So by far our largest tract of land when you look at that. I mean, I kind of felt like the sugar beets was a heck of a lot of land. And then, I mean, the wheat fields were not massive by any means. But now this is the king of all. So that is our task for the second day of September. Now, a note on this. So our fields were basically ready to harvest stage 4 of 4. The new fields are not quite there yet. They are stage 3 of 4. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mow everything in the month of September, because I think we'll still get some growth in October. And then when we get into the spring, I'm hoping we get a couple of months growth, and it'll enable us to get a full, stage 4 of 4, or, mow in the spring before we go and tear all this up and make it a field. Maybe we're only going to get a stage 3 mow, but we'll see what we can do. I was thinking maybe what I'd do is let these other fields grow another month into October, and then we would harvest everything in October and then see what we get in the spring. But I don't know. I could be wrong anyways, but I'm going to do it this way. Yeah, so the reason why this made sense to me, I think I've mentioned it now a bunch of times. If you can go and benefit from the land, i.e. make some money right away, then it can be worth it. If you have to basically just lay out all the cash in the hopes that your crops are going to grow and the yields are going to be good, and you're going to be able to just rely on crops, that could be a bit daunting. So anyway, there was so much work to be done here, like so much work. I can't even explain how much work was done here. But if you remember it, or if you're on the map, go look at these fields and then you tell me how much work had to be done. It was a little bit brutal, but it's done now, which is good. So we're going to basically put those bales into the cows, and then we're going to go to sleep and be ready for what should be a challenge in the next month. So the only other thing I don't really have much desire to purchase any more land, short of I do want to find a spot for some sheep. I would like to get into a small get into some small sheep, get into not mini sheep, but where'd this tree go? We had a tree here, and I swear there was a tree. Wasn't there a tree here? I don't recall taking that tree out. Anyways, yeah, I'd like to find a reasonable plot where we could put some sheep. We have all this grass anyways, so if, like for example, when we do mow all the new land there, if I was able to keep some bales as grass and not wrap them all, then I think that could help us out. So yeah, so I definitely don't feel good about borrowing more money, but I mean, Walter could see where I was coming from. It's not like we're gonna be flaking out on our loan or anything. We literally have the money sitting there in the bank, just waiting for the pricing to catch up. And the second it does, we sell, and then we pay the guy, right? All right, so I grabbed one of the partial bales, and then 2 full bales. So let's crack those suckers open there and get them dropped in. I think I discovered we can do 3 bales, right? And one of them is not even a full bale, so it shouldn't be heavy at all. I had somebody ask me in one of the previous episodes how I took some of the fences out. Unless there's been an update to the map, i.e. if Farm Zimbrisco allowed the removal or sale of those fences, I end up doing it in Giants Editor. So I loaded up the map and went in and eliminated the fences that way. So just in case you're wondering. There we go. All right, so they have enough food. They have enough straw. They're continuing to generate milk, but we do have the market coming to grab that every day, along with the stuff from our greenhouses. What are we? Back up to 14,000 liters for slurry, and we got 24,000 liters of that's meadow. We have 19,000 liters of manure. Once we get the new field, is what we're calling it, right? Once we get that all mowed up, then we'll probably go in and try to quickly throw down some fertilizer because I think it needs it. And then by the spring, we should, that should help us with our yield anyways. So the thinking is that I would use an organic fertilizer like manure, but I guess we'll see what's available to us. All right. Well, I mean, I guess that's it. Let's close up for the night. I've had a hell of a day, as you can imagine, when you saw all of that, and then we'll pick this up again tomorrow, which will be the second day of September. All right, hello and welcome to the second day of September. I'm just in the used inventory here. This was one of the conversations I had with Walter, is whether or not I should look at purchasing some updated whatever beet technology. So this harvester at 62% off, I think it's like a $500,000 unit. This thing came up for sale. That would be kind of interesting. It has a capacity, so as far as like unloading all the time, this would be far more convenient. And I think I want to say I can get about $50,000 for our current setup, but in the end, it's just spending money for the sake of spending money, really. And then I want to say there was also a potato unit in here, but it seems to be gone. Somebody must have scooped that up. So now I'm a sucker for things like this, which I'm not going to buy. There's a trailer, which I definitely don't need, but I like buying stuff like that. There's another trailer. Like, how do you not buy this stuff? I know how you don't buy it. You just don't buy it. Anyway, so there's stuff in here, but we're good for now, I think. Came over to admire the beets. Actually, the other thing we could admire momentarily would be the grass, because we haven't seen grass growing before, but there is the grass field that we had already planted. Holy, it's a bit of a foggy morning here, folks. But whoa, what the heck? Look at this. I think that means it's going to be a good day, no? Geez, somebody likes us. All right, well, you know what? I don't know what else to do, but get ourselves set up here. So I think what I'm going to do. So anyways, don't criticize me for this, but I have a ton of paperwork and a whole bunch of stuff that I need to get done. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get everything set up for an army of locals to mow, bale, and wrap those fields. And what I'll do is I'll get that set up, and then that will enable me to get everything caught up that I've not been able to get caught up. I'm way behind on a bunch of things. And what I don't want to do is have, the proper paperwork or, something that I was supposed to have done, not get done. And I get deported back to Canada or something. And we don't get to finish all of this. So let's do that. Let me get... let's just first get everything lined up here. And then I can get the workers here. So we're going to need to mow. Fiat for the baler. I don't want to use the Z-Tor because the thing just has a horrible turning radius. I think I've said this every single time, but just in case you only found us on this episode and you didn't get a chance to hear it on the other ones. I should also mention, I think we're at about 50-50 everything I upload. So 50% of the people that watch the videos are subscribed and 50% aren't. If you're one of those 50% that aren't subscribed, it would be super cool if you took a moment, if you didn't mind, and hit the subscribe button. I don't really ask of that often, but we're getting close to 5,000 subscribers. I know, subscriber count doesn't really, what does it even mean? But it would be cool to have 100,000 subscribers. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, it's for my ego. Hook me up. Come on. All right, let me just send a couple text messages and see who I can get over here, and then we'll get all this stuff into the field. Wait, do I need to fill this up? All right, so provided everyone's paying attention, they should follow me down to the fields. And it looks like that is the case, so that's good. Yeah, as much as I'd love to mow all of that grass, I am going to have to pick it all up afterwards, so I don't feel too bad getting help from some people here. And then I think I also have to scoop some... I've got to scoop some bales for grass if we're going to want to have sheep. Man, it's still foggy, eh? It's almost 8 o'clock. Oh, what the heck? Look at that. Yeah, that fog is dense, man. Holy crap. I am pretty certain I do not or have not accidentally activated realistic weather because this would seem like maybe I did. All right, let me get everybody rounded up here and we'll get a game plan together. I'll just get this unfolded. Okay, so I might have screwed something up because our friend there is starting... Well, they kind of missed a whole pass. So, not to mention, I think I'm going to need to probably do some cleaning up afterwards because... Well, actually, let me say this. I think I'm going to have to jump in here at some point because I was able to get 2 headlands programmed, of which now I'm not sure how that's going to work if they're already starting inside here. Plus, I don't know how this is all going to happen. Well, so once I get the 2 headlands done and they start going up and down, I just wonder how quickly all these workers are going to just smash right into each other. I kind of want to see this first bale come out, and then we'll know that we're good here as far as the wrapper is concerned. And then I think what I want to do is maybe work... Okay, so we got the first one. Hold on, let's see. All right, that's a good sign. Yeah, and actually, so maybe what I'll do, we'll let this whole thing happen and see how far it gets, and then maybe what I'll do is that outside headland there that it seems to have missed. Maybe that's the one I'll save for grass. Anyways, we'll figure it out. But I think I want to go. Like I mentioned, I had a bunch of paperwork to do, but I also want to talk to the store and see if maybe there's a better way for me to pick this stuff up because I think I'm out here just with the telehandler and a trailer. That might not be the best. I have I reset the bale counter, so we'll see exactly how many bales we get off this. But it should be painful regardless. Now, part of the field is in stage 3 of 4, and part of it's in stage 4 of 4, like I had mentioned earlier. So who knows, maybe that'll help us reduce the total number of bales, which is not great because obviously we want the most amount of bales, but this is going to be a big undertaking, I think. So, all right, anyways, I might as well go make myself a cup of coffee, and I'll dig into some of that paperwork, but I will make a phone call and see if there's anything available for transport, like one of them fancy bale picker uppers or something. Yeah, it's quite the view here, though. But yeah, this should be good. Anyways, all right, well, let's go do that. I'm gonna head back. All right, so I'm gonna go get online. I'm gonna make that coffee. Let's go make the coffee first. This laptop takes forever to fire up. Let me fire. Oh shoot, I left it on. Oops. All right, never mind. I'll go make that coffee, and we'll see what we can find. Where's my coffee maker? So when you get into the transportation of bales, there's only so much available for picking bales up. Couple points on that, actually. Somebody brought up a good point in the comments about silage bales and bale spikes. And apparently there's an issue, which makes sense, I guess, if you think about it, where when you spike a wrapped bale, it will perhaps introduce mold basically into the bale because of that airflow. So we don't want that. So perhaps what we should be looking for is, well, two things. One, if we're going to be grabbing bales, some type of bale grabber, which there's got to be something in here. I know I've seen like Gowil, I think, has like a bale grabber, a soft bale grabber. So we could consider something like that. But I do want to find something that we can pick the bales up that has like that arm that comes out and picks the bales up. So that's $50,000. Good God. What picks up square bales? There you go, square bales. Up to 240. Transports 14 bales at a time. That's not very much. And we got to spend $100,000 for it? Yeah, so really we're going to max out at 14 bales and have to spend $100,000 just to get something to pick up our square bales. So you know what, we may be doing what we've already been doing. I'm not using auto load. This just puts them in stacks. Well, I mean, this is not ridiculous, to be honest. I can pick up 3 bales at a time, and there's quite a bit of time involved stacking them into 3s. So this is actually kind of cool. I could see how I could use this alongside alongside picking up the bales. That might be something I'd consider. So if I come in here to telehandler tool, yeah, check this stuff. Wrap bale handler. I mean, these are showing round bales, but or even maybe we could use one of those strap systems. Not a huge fan of those. So these bale handlers or whatever, they look like they're sort of geared towards round bales. Oh, there. Oh, no, up to 180 centimeters. We're making 220 centimeter bales. That might not reach around. Oh, look at this. 180. Doesn't have a size. Well, okay, there's all these strap systems I guess we could think about, but not if we're doing stacks of 3. All right, well, I mean, this is me on the website. I think maybe what I need to do is call into the shop and see if maybe there's something we can look at that's going to work. Yeah, this is just not going to be big enough. Oh, actually, unless you can grab them from the end. If that's suited for a 180 centimeter bale, but it's width-wise, then maybe if I'm grabbing from the end, maybe that's okay. Yeah, I'm going to call over to the shop, and if maybe they'll let me use something like this, and then if it doesn't work, maybe they'll let me send it back. But all right, well, you know what? I'm going to get that paperwork done like I was talking about, and then we'll go check in our friends and see where we get to. All right, I couldn't sit still for that long, so we're going to go on a bit of a rip over to the dealership. I got on the phone with our friend there at the store, and I just spent $4,900 on that on one of those bale grabs, but I don't know. We both seem to think that it might work, and he was good to say that if it doesn't, then don't worry, I can bring it back as long as I don't damage it or anything like that. So. Yeah, I don't know. I guess so with a bale spike, I mean, if I'm taking bales out of the silo or the storage and then putting them right into the animal enclosure, well, that's already silage. I tend to unwrap them anyways, so then you can definitely use a bale spike. Hay bales, you can use a bale spike, no problem. But when I freshly wrap these bales and they're in the field, then yeah, let's see if we can use some kind of a bale grab instead. And let's hope this is the one that works. Yeah, it definitely doesn't seem like maybe something we can grab widthwise, but if we're grabbing it from the end, and that's how we're putting them on the trailer, then that might be easier anyways. And then if we can sort of double up with the... Oh, actually, I should get that while I'm here. I like the idea of putting these, putting the bales into stacks of 3. Ooh, look at that. Maybe it will reach. I don't know, but I'm going to pop in there and see if I can get one of those bale stackers. And then, I mean, we'll still be putting them on a trailer, which will still be a little bit tedious, but $37,000 versus $100,000 for only 14 bales. And then, but on our trailers, I can put like 20 bales. That sounds better. Oh, there's a new guy in here. All right, there, yeah. So for $37,000, we'll have the ability to stack our bales, and hopefully that makes things a little faster for us. So let's get that. Cool. What the heck? Okay, I mean, I swear to God, I was talking to some dude, and I'm not sure where you came from, but thanks. All right, well, let's try this. I'm spending money like I have it, which I don't, so I'm just trying to make our lives a little easier. At last check, we were at almost 30 bales over there in the field, and they weren't very far yet, so we should be. We were getting like I think we got like 70 bales when we mowed up our fields the last time. Is that right? Am I thinking about that correctly? Let's see what we get this time. Might as well see what's going on. I just couldn't keep myself behind a desk, and the thought of spending the afternoon doing paperwork while there's all this farming action going on was not sitting well with me. So I figured, let's spend some money and get out there in the field. That's where I feel alive. I was on the phone with the guy we've got, or the girl we've got set up with the mower, asking what the strategy was here, because there's I don't know, it looks a little wild the way things are the way she's kind of got everything going here, but apparently there's a method to the madness. I'm just going to get these bales out of the way. I just didn't understand why we were leaving so many gaps, but I guess there's a reason. Let's help the process by moving a couple of these. This is you have to be very exact with this stacker, it looks like. I see the circus down there. I can only imagine how many bales the wrapper has just run over and not been able to bale. We'll see what kind of disaster we're in for. All right, there we go. So I'm literally just trying to see if I can move some of the bales out of the unmowed areas, so we don't run into any problems. All right, so then I can unload them. So let's do that right there. All right, that's kind of a nifty system. You got to be very specific with where you're aiming. So that's a bit of a challenge, but that's okay. Here, let's see if we can grab this one, because they may be running over it here. Okay, well, I think I had to close the back of it, so that's closed now. Yeah, I can just see potential disaster with all these bales everywhere and three vehicles cruising around. I think that's my only initial criticism of this stacker, is how exact you need to be, but I guess that's fine. Yeah, so I'd like to think that it's going to make our lives easier, but maybe not. I mean, if I can get to the point where I'm just ripping around, bringing everything into sort of one area, unloading for ease of eventual access by the trailer and the grabber there, then yeah, maybe this is a good thing, but just need to get used to it, I think, maybe is the challenge. So I think if we can get this working well for us too, I mean, if our strategy is to have half the year growing grass and half the year growing, some type of other crop in our fields, like where we're going to alternate back and forth, then these type of, this grabber and this stacker will definitely get some use, because we're going to, we'll be doing a lot of bales every year. And then if we can just get, this process of multiple vehicles working for us, like if we don't have any issues, then yeah, that'd be fantastic. All right, there's got to be a better way to do this as far as organization, but we're just going to kind of place these wherever for now. All right, well, I'm going to keep plugging away and see how many of these things I can get stacked while those guys are doing their job, and then we'll see where we get to. Hopefully we don't have any other issues now that we've got everything figured out. As I was just about to say, now that we have everything figured out with the stacker, but I obviously don't. All right, we're still cruising here. So I guess I tried to pick up one of these bales on the end, and this bale grabber doesn't actually close far enough to be able to do that. So that is a bit of a challenge for me, because I think the thought was that I could pick them up on the end with these, and that would enable us to stack them on the trailer in a way that I've been doing, but I guess we're gonna have to sort of rethink that. I wonder if I can stack. I think I can stack bales like, you know, side by side instead of like lengthwise. So far I've been stacking them across the trailer, but maybe I just got to do them. Anyways, whatever, you'll see. But yeah, that was threw me for a bit of a loop, not realizing that I can't actually close these grabbers far enough to grab a bale on the end. We're probably approaching the 50 bale mark now, is my guess, and we have a lot more field to do here. Not to mention afterwards I'm gonna have to go and pick all these dang bales up, so yeah, I didn't notice when it actually happened, but our worker that was running the mower has decided that that indeed his day is done. So he's left, and I was unable to find anybody else to cover. So I'm jumping in now on the mower, and I'm realizing that they've essentially done like half the field by skipping rows. So I don't know what the rationale was there, but obviously my instructions were maybe off somehow, and I didn't communicate exactly what I wanted. I think somehow in there I must have said I wanted just stripes and not a complete mowing job. So we're gonna finish this up now. Wasn't exactly how I wanted this to go, but that's okay. We'll you know, it'll allow me to avoid any unfortunate incidences where I have a mower running into a wrapper or a baler, getting hung up on something. So it's not the end of the world, I guess. When I jumped into this, I checked, and yes, indeed, we were basically just at 50 bales as far as the baler was concerned. So this should prove to be a pretty healthy amount of bales off of here. So now here's where we do the cruise control calculation. So they're dropping a bale, and there's space before the next bale. So I've increased the cruise control to 14, but I think we might try like 16 and see, because the whole goal is to have obviously a bale coming out of the baler pretty much at the same time as the wrapper is done wrapping one. Now I also have to hope that they both have working speeds that are good for what we're doing here. But anyways, all right. So let's as usual, I'm going to keep on plugging away here, and then we'll see what kind of trouble we get into. Now is the hard part, because I don't really have a set track to follow here. So we're just going to kind of grab as much grass as we can and generate as many bales as we can. So now I can get the outsides here. I'll have to stop the wrapper at some point. So we can make sure to make some grass bales, because I would like I mentioned, to get some sheep in, and the farmers market is craving, has a serious need for wool and wool products, but the wool, and we got to start with the wool, right? So I was talking to them over there when I was dropping off the bales, and they're like, "Oh my God, if you could start producing wool in the area, you would be a hero." So I want to be a hero, so we're gonna do that. Anyways, I'm gonna keep on going here, stop rambling, and get this job done. I swear, but when you're doing these big jobs in Farming Simulator, it's usually around now where I start to question why I even play this game. Oh my God! So I realized the worker that I had set up that abandoned me I believe it was indeed my instructions were the problem, because I think I inadvertently, or probably just not understanding exactly what the setting meant, when I set up courseplay, I had said that there were 3 workers. And I think what that did was, I thought maybe it was smart, because it was a setting to do with the fact there were 3 people on the same route, more or less. But I think what that does is when you have 3... Oh, I gotta sneak through here. When you have 3, so if I had 3 mowers, for example, then they would stagger themselves. So they would each take a lane, basically. So I think what this did is it did 1/3 of the job, and then it stopped. So it's left me to do everything else, because you can see like the up and downs, basically each up and down is like 2 basically. So it's like this tractor did 1 and left 2 up and downs for the, what should have been the other 2 mowers based on what I told it. So that's, I think, where we ran into a bit of an issue, and that's why I am now stuck doing all this when I really just wanted to be back at my farmhouse with my feet up for a bit, or at least working the bale collector, the bale stacker, so that way I could get a trailer in here and start hauling these bales out of here. But anyways, it's a lesson learned. I will no longer do that. I think because I was using essentially 2 mods to get this done. One is Courseplay and the other one was Follow Me, right? Because I have the other 2, those 2 back there set up on Follow Me. So they were following the vehicle that was set up on Courseplay. So anyways, bunch of nonsense there, but now I'm stuck doing this. Now, right before I jump back in here, we were at 88 bales, so we've got to be close to 90 or at 90 by now, and sort of quickly approaching that 100 bale mark, which is kind of cool, but we still have lots to go here. So I honestly don't think we'll hit 150 bales, but I guess anything is possible. And that is, keep in mind, the majority of the new fields were all sort of stage 3 of 4. Now driving around also, I find myself wondering, I should probably come back through here with like manure or slurry and hit the field with that for fertilizer. And then I wonder if I should also be putting lime down. I don't recall. Yeah, I think I basically bought these as grass fields, and I don't think I've ever done anything like that to them. I almost don't even remember fertilizing them, but maybe I did. So I will continue here, and maybe we'll be picking this up again right as we're getting done. Wow, okay, this has proven to be a hell of a job. It's almost 4 o'clock in game, and I am just stacking anyways, the last few bales. I think that I understand why those, while it's only 14 bales at a time, those bale picker-uppers, man, you just have to handle the bale once. You can literally they pick up so fast. This thing is quite finicky, but I mean, I think anyways, I like this, how it helps you keep things organized, but man, I think we're just handling these bales too many times by using this, and it might just be a little bit inefficient, because now we still have to come back through and pick all the bales up. Of which, at least it's only, now I've taken, it's like 3, you're going to pick up 3 at a time, which is nice, but you still got to pick all these bales up. So a couple things popped up in the used inventory, or used sale. Let me just show you. Well, this is interesting. A half-price semi-trailer. Not looking at auto load, but man, we could probably fit a few bales onto that. We just need a truck for it, but at around 30 grand. I was looking at this. I think we could fit a heck of a lot of bales onto this, and it's only $14,000. Yeah, I guess with a tractor trailer, we could use this too. This is only $6,000. I know there was a truck in here that a couple of you guys pointed out, and I can't remember what it was now, but I did not purchase it, obviously. So I don't know. I mean, knowing me, we're probably just going to tough it out with what we have, and maybe look at doing this a different way in the future. If I'm getting a bale picker upper, then I'm not going to need like a flatbed trailer or something, because the bales are literally going to get picked up and then brought to. They're going to get picked up and then basically dropped off and then come back and get another load. Okay, so here, let's do this. We'll shut this off. I'm gonna get this stuff back over to the yard, and then we'll pick up a trailer. Oh, I see a single bale over there. I was hoping to find one to because the last load there I just dropped was 2 bales, but anyways, I guess I didn't notice that. Let's make sure everybody knows where they're going. I didn't recognize these workers. Little do they know I just need them to drive those across the way here, and then I can let them go. But that's that. Okay, well, let's get that dumped. I don't know that I'm going to be doing much else. Oh, here, sorry. We'll go drop this off, and then we'll check the precision farming reports to see if we need lime in those fields or not. All right, we'll grab our little bale trailer, man. I guess if now there was a truck for sale, then like a transport type cab, then maybe I could be convinced that I should be purchasing it, but I just wasn't convinced earlier. I didn't see the immediate need, but I'm kind of seeing it right now with all these bales. So in the final bale count, I believe, was 128, and that's on the fields the way they are. So when we eventually get to the point where we're ready to fertilize and do all the stuff, right? But plant the field, like first of all, expand the field to where we want, get it all planted properly, and then make sure it's all fertilized and everything's good. Then I can only imagine we're going to see, we may see another 130 or another 30 bales. I think we'd probably get over that like the 150 bale mark. Okay, this should prove to be a little challenging, because now I've got to pick these bales up widthwise, and then I've got to get them stacked onto the trailer, but they have to be like, I got to put them on lengthwise here on the trailer. And I hope these arms have the ability to carry 3 bales without slipping. Okay, I see another oh, geez, could I do it this way? I was gonna say I see another challenge, because trying to fit those grabbers in between, like as I'm putting in the rows of bales, there'll always be a gap. But I have a telehandler, so I wonder if I can extend this all the way to the front of the trailer without tipping over. Just carefully slide that bit by bit. I am already starting to tip over. Okay, well, if we do it to there, then I can hopefully use the next ones to push. Wow, and I got to do this. Well, what's 10 is 30. 5, so I got to do this a lot of times. But, so by the end of this, I'm going to have an absolute ton of silage potential. So we're going to we'll end up with a fairly large silage sell-off, I believe, and definitely have enough food for our cows. So we could easily expand our cows and have plenty of food to feed them, which is good. Please slide. Okay, they seem to have found their way to the side of the trailer a little bit. I got to try to keep this balanced. Anyways, let's look at the precision farming data. All right, I don't know if we actually looked at this. So I did purchase the data for everything. I'll likely probably have to repurchase it once I merge all the fields, but for now, let's just look at what we have. And for the majority, we do have the sandy loam, and then there's a hard cut for the silty clay. So we're not going to see the same results, I think, in that side, but for the most part, I think we have the good soil. So as far as the pH is concerned, yeah, I mean, we do have to run fertilizer through here, and I think we could probably get away with maybe putting down a load of lime. So I almost want to just quickly get all this stuff loaded. Well, I don't know. I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get this loaded. I'm going to dream and drool about what type of setup we could have that would make this go faster and more efficient. Please, put your votes down in the comments about what you would do if you were me. Some of the options are, get one of those, just a straight up bale picker uppers, and that's they pick up 14 bales at a time, and then I could literally just run laps between. I mean, really, if you think about it, it's only 10 trips back to the shed if we have 140 bales, at 14 bales a load. So that's or 14 bales a trip. So that's not too bad. It seems like a lot, but it's not bad. And then, I mean, we're gonna have grass in the wheat fields also, because we're gonna be employing the same strategy there. So I don't know how many bales we get out of there, but yeah, that is a reasonable strategy. And then if I'm going to be transporting down to the sell point, do I continue with what I have now, like this, Red Rock trailer that carries, I can put, we know we can put 20, we could probably fit even more. We could probably put like 22 bales on it, right? Because we had started putting like 2 on top to round it out to 20. But, so do we keep doing that, or do I now look for that truck and trailer? I mean, we're seeing a couple of really good, inexpensive trailers. Maybe I purchase that Pitts Lowboy and then just have them keep at the shop till I can find a truck that's sufficient. Or then maybe there was that just tow behind, bumper or regular standard trailer hitch trailer. I don't know. I got some thinking to do. In all of this, though, I also have to make sure that I'm not blowing the bank, because I just get these straps on there, because I do need money, right? I don't want to prematurely sell anything that otherwise would be worth far more when it was, when it matured, when our stocks mature. But this is definitely a full day out here on the field doing this. A couple other ways that I could further streamline this, I guess. I was thinking, while I love the Bednar Batwing edited by Gaming Joy, I'm working with a 7-meter working width, so I know there's a number of options for 10 plus, which would significantly reduce the amount of time in field when it comes to mowing. So that could be another efficiency we could look at. I don't know about, I don't think there's a way to be more efficient with the baling and the wrapping. That is what it is. Oh, unless I had a baler that also wrapped, then really it's one less worker I need, and yeah, that might actually not be a bad idea. So maybe I watch for one of those and see if there's one of those on sale. I know sale. I could literally set up the finance. I think once we get those wood chips sold, and we have some wheat also to sell, we'll have some silage to sell, kind of like that December is going to be pretty lucrative for us. Then we'll get Walter paid off so he doesn't send out his goons, and then we'll still have some money left over. I think I figured by the time I pay off it won't even be a $600,000 loan when we pay Walter off, because I'll have already made a couple payments. But once we get that paid out, then we'll have a bunch of money left over that we can still figure out what to do. Now, ideally, we pay out the JCB, because that's I think I only have one vehicle on finance. I think it's the JCB. Maybe I have 2. Maybe I have 3. Oh God! So we have a total monthly output right now. That's the JCB Fast Track. That's the planter, I think. Is that right? Oh, and that's the. Is that weird? My JCB shows over here, but this and this don't. Well, the Lexion, I mean, so there's one of the finances. Yeah, the Ultima. Okay, I thought so. That's the other one right there. So these are the 2 other items that are financed. So balance to settle. So we have about $285,000 to settle all 3 of those vehicles, or 2 vehicles and a trailer, basically. which would eliminate a $20,000 a month payment. And then when we get Walter paid out, we'll be left with a $22,000 a month payment, which is pretty manageable. So at that point, we could look at adding more equipment that's more substantial. Okay, well, and this is our 18 bales. So what do we still have over here? Yeah, you know what? We'll take these back and then we'll come back and get the next one. So I think, I don't know, that was an introduction to the massive field, a mowing endeavor, a lesson in course play, because now I understand what it means when I say there's multiple vehicles on the field. I would not have, it would not have taken me in real life that long had I just set it up properly. I wouldn't have been stuck mowing. But anyways, lesson learned. I think we can definitely fine tune this as we go forward. So I think what I'll likely do after this, unless something else pops up, the next episode is probably going to be like November, December, when it's time to start selling, because between now and then I don't really have, like, I might have earlier mentioned something about sheep, but I think in reality I think I'm going to wait until the spring for that. I will try my best to add some more cows over the winter, and then yeah, as we get into the spring, we'll be able to kind of maybe purchase another small piece of land so we can get some sheep going, and we can get the farmers market fed when it comes to stuff like that, because like I mentioned before, they are hard looking for a supplier for wool. But anyways, yeah, okay, so that's it, guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Ciao.